Hello guys, today we are talking about the second lesson of A-level ASP1, okay? We are talking about for vertex and graphing sketching, okay? So first, let's understand what is a graph. So last lesson we can set for a very simple quadratic form like ax squared plus bx plus c can be considered as a times x minus h squared plus k, right? Okay, so we can say here, a times x minus h squared can be considered as the shape of it. Okay, so how can we understand it for this? Like you can find when x equals to h, x minus h squared equals to 0, right? So it can become the minimum value for the quadratic equation, okay? So that is the minimum or the lowest point on the graph, okay? So we can say when a bigger than 0, it can become a bowl shape like here. When a smaller than 0 is a downward bowl, okay, like this way. So we can also call this as a parabola shape, okay? Just like you're throwing an object like here, like a stereotype. So there is a like path for the object to falling down on the ground, okay? So that is it, and we can set here we also has the symmetrical line right here, okay? So we can set when x equals to h right here, x equals to h, and we can set that is a symmetrical line, okay? So that is the middle point, or whether it is at the maximum point or at the minimum point, we can find it, okay? So for example, like here, we can set that hk means vertex coordinates, okay? So when x equals to h, we can set x minus h squared equals to 0. That is a minimum value, and plus k is also the minimum value. And if a is smaller than 0, that means a times x minus h squared when h equals to, oh sorry, when x equals to h, we can set it can find as a maximum point, right? Okay, so that we can set the vertex coordinate is when x equals to h, and the y value also equals to k, okay? And the line of symmetry is x equals to h, okay? So it's very easy, right? When you first see them, it can be very hard, but when you draw the graph, everything can be very reasonable, okay? So we can just try to draw the graph. First is a general shape. We can say when a bigger than 0, that is a U shape, and when a smaller than 0 is an N shape, okay? And this is a point or turning point or vertex. And this is for y-intercept when we are choosing x equals to 0. And then we can put into the equations and we can find the exactly y value here. So y can be considered as a times 0 squared plus b times 0 plus c, okay? That is a y-intercept. And x-intercept is y equals to 0. So ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. We can finally calculate the x value, okay? So that is a rule for sketching the quadratics. And also we can sketch in the examples like here for the minimum parabola. Like here we can set this graph is x squared minus 4x plus 3. So first we can try to calculate the y-intercept and x-intercept. So when y equals to 0 is a y-intercept, right? Oh, sorry, it's an x-intercept. That is x squared minus 4x plus 3. So for the quadratic equations, you can just make it into a factorization as x minus 3 times x minus 1, right? Because here, 93 times negative 1 equals to 3, and 93 plus negative 1 is negative 4, okay? So that it can be decomposed as x minus 3 times x minus 1, okay? That is how we can draw this. So we can say y equals to 0, so x equals to 1, or x equals to 3. So here we have two intercepts as 1, 0 and 3, 0, okay? That is like the quadratic graph right here, okay? And we can also set, we can find the symmetrical line right here, okay? So that can using like a half of the two intercept, right? Because here we can just set, oh, maybe for 1 plus 3 over 2, you can find this middle point of the two intercept, right? Because this is a symmetrical graph, okay? And also we can say we can find the y-intercept, just letting x equals to 0, right? So y equals to 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 3 is equals to 3. That means it crossed the point for 0, 3, okay? That is how we can find the exact point right here. So we have the 3 points, we have the symmetrical lines right here, and we can just try to draw the graph. It's a U-shaped graph, and we're just connecting this point together, and then we can find the final graph, okay? So this is a very simple way to draw it, but you can also use in the method we just tell you. So you can first try to turning the x squared minus 4x plus 3 into a quadratic form. So for example, like here, we can set x squared minus 4x is x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 1, right? So it can be considered as x minus 2 squared minus 1, okay? That is how we can sketch the graph. So for this graph, we can set when x equals to 2, so the y value here equals to 2 minus 2 squared plus 1 equals to 1, okay? So we can set that the sorry, here is for negative 1, okay? Sorry for that, it's negative 1. So this point is for t negative 1, right? Okay? And we can set the graph can be also considered like here, when x equals to 0, it can be 3. So it passes through 0, 3, right? The divider is that. And equal to 0, we can calculate this as 1 and 3, okay? And then we can draw the graph like here. Okay, and because here is bigger than 0, that means it's a U shape, okay? So I would like to choose the first method because I think it's a little bit easier for you to understand, okay? So also like this second example, we have to sketch the graph for y equals to negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 5. So you can also using the method first trying to draw or find out the x-intercept and the y-intercept. First x-intercept is very easy to find. First we can set here it is negative 2x squared minus 8x plus 4, plus 5, okay? And then we can try to calculate the exact value here, okay? And we can find this x1, x2. But you can find in this situation, we cannot solve it very clearly because we cannot factorize it very easily, right? So for this example, we can calculate the symmetrical line, that is b over 2a, right? So like we first have to turn this into a quadratic form. So we can first try to extract a negative 2 outside. That is x squared minus 4x, right? And minus 5. So for this equation, we have to set negative 2 x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 4, the minus 5, right? So it becomes to negative 2 times x minus 2 squared, and then plus 8 minus 5. That is for negative 2 x minus 2 squared plus 3, okay? That is how we can sketch the graph. Okay, so we can set here the center or the vertex is with x equals to 2, right? And here we can find y equals to 3. So the vertex must be 2, 3, okay? And then we can find the y-intercept, x equals to 0, we can find here is negative 2 times 0 minus 2 squared plus 3 is negative 5, right? So the y-intercept is 0, negative 5. So you can say, oh, maybe here we have vertex for 2, 3, and we can just try to draw the graph. Okay, like this way. We can then draw the graph. So it's a little bit difficult, right? First to judge what is the direction and shape. And then we can say vertex we have, y-intercept we have, then we can draw the graph very easily, okay? And here we can set, also we have some common pitfalls in examinations, like first like x squared minus 8x, it becomes x minus 4 squared. It doesn't can raise it as x plus 4 squared because here is negative 8. So using the rules a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, right? So negative 8 represent for negative 4 squared, okay? So we have to add it as positive 16 and minus a 16, okay? So the sign must match. And also, forgetting the outer multiplier, okay, like when a doesn't equals to 1, so like this question we have to first extract the negative 2 outside, right? And also incorrect vertex signs may lead into a mistaken, okay? And also please remember that incomplete sketches. So remember every time to draw the origin and to find y-intercept and x-intercept. It's very important for us to solve all the questions, okay? Okay, so here is some doable practice for you. So if you have your answers or you want to try yourself, you can pause the video and then do it yourself. But if you want to follow with me, you can keep on going, okay? So for first problem, we can set here, a doesn't equals to 1, right? And it's bigger than 0, so it is a U shape, right? So we can first extract 3 outside, that is x squared plus 4x, right? And then we have to add it 4, and then minus 4, and then minus 2, okay? So we can write it down as 3 times x plus 2 squared, and then 3 times negative 4 is minus 12 minus 2 is 3 times x plus 2 squared minus 14, okay? That is how we can calculate this. Okay, so that the answer is 14. We can say here A is 3, B is 2, C is for negative 14, okay? And also, if you want to find the minimum point, that is when x equals to negative 2, right? So y here equals to negative 14, okay? That is it. So then we can draw the graph is 2, negative 14, and the y-intercept is when x equals 0, right? Is negative 2, right? So we can just try drawing the graph like a U shape. Here is a vertex, here's a y-intercept. So the graph is like this way, okay? It's a very thin graph, okay? And for the second problem, first to write down the equations. Also, we can first try to write that as negative x squared plus 4x, right? And then plus 5. So here we have to add an extra 4 and then minus 4 to make sure two equations are equal to each other, right? And then plus 5. So this value you can calculate as negative x plus 2 squared minus plus 4 plus 5 is plus 9, right? So we can set here that the q equals to 2 and p equals to 9, right? That is how we can write down the equations right here. And for problem B, sketch the graph of the curve, showing the coordinate of the turning point at the point when the curve crosses the coordinate axis. So first, we can just try to set, oh, if it crosses a y-axis or y-intercept, we can set that is x equals to 0. So y equals to 5, right? And when y equals to 0, you can also calculate x value. So here x equals to 1, or I guess here is x equals to negative 5, right? Yeah, x equals to negative 5, okay? This is two values right here. So we can set here, trying to draw the graph. First of the vertex is for, we can draw the vertex here, negative x, here's plus 2 squared plus 9, right? Okay, so we can set that the vertex is negative 2, 9, right? And then it is a N shape because the A is a negative value and it passes through the 0, negative, 0, 5, right? And then passing through 1 and negative 5. So after you draw it like this way, this is negative 5, 0, this is 1, 0, 0, 5, and negative 2, 9, right? Okay, so we can draw all this graph right here. So the challenging problems will be left as a homework for you. Okay, you can just try to solve this problem. So maybe next time we will have a total review for this problem, but I hope you can just finish as your homework. Okay, so that's for this our lesson. See you next time. Bye.